Hey everyone, my name is Chloe, and today I'm here to do my weekly wrap-up. So, in this last week, it was July 27th to August 2nd. So, we had all the July reading that I was trying to wrap up, followed by the start of Deck TV Hour-a-thon. So, it has been a really fun time. So, we've got a handful of middle grade to talk about, a handful of adult books to talk about. So, let's just get into it. So, as always, I will have timestamps down below of when I start talking about adult books. So, if you don't care about these middle grade, you can just skip on by and go to the adult book. So we have The Gold Medal Mess. This is the first in the MVP series. This is by David A. Kelly, and this is a book about an Olympic event in the elementary school, and somebody is trying to sabotage it. So they are getting kind of threatening notes saying they need to cancel it, and so it's these kids trying to figure out who did it. It's really cute. We are really excited to read the rest of the series, and it was perfect for the Olympics time. Then we have Cody and the Fountain of Happiness by Tricia Springstub, and this one wasn't my favorite. This is about a girl named Cody who has a brother and a dad that travels a lot for work. Her mom is up for a promotion, so she's about to be really busy. It's summer. Cody's summer camp gets canceled, and so she has to stay some with her brother and then with this babysitter who her brother has a massive crush on. And so it's really just about her finding friendship. She makes friends with this little boy who's just in town for a couple weeks, staying with his grandma and his cat, and it's okay. It's just kind of a clunky writing style and not my favorite. Then our latest devotional is God I Need to Talk to You About, Stories About God's Love and Forgiveness. So I know you can buy these individually, but they're really small. And so I don't know if these are like abridged versions, because there's a lot of different stories in here. And it's, let's see what the table of contents says. Because some of these were very, very applicable to our family, and some of them were less so. But we've got bad manners, bad temper, bad words, bedtime, being a bad sport, bullying, cheating, disrespect, feeling sad, greed, healthy eating, homework, hurting others, laziness, lying, my parents, paying attention, school, sharing, stealing, talking back, vandalism, video games, and whining. And like I said, my kids really loved these, and we continually reference, like, God, I need to talk to you about whining and why whining is not the best way to communicate and all that. Like, this was really good. I don't know, like I said, you can buy these stories individually, and I don't know if they're longer and more expanded, because my biggest complaint about this is that they're very, very basic. So I would like more extended versions, and some didn't apply to our family, but that's okay. Overall, this was really good. Then we've got 4 graphic novels. So the first one, I don't know why they do this, but it's Curlfriends New in Town. You can't really see what it is, so I'm going to open it up. But this is a really good graphic novel about a girl who is moving to a new town. Her dad has been former military, and now he's out, and so this is going to be like their permanent home. And she is new in town, and she just wants to be accepted. I mean, she just wants to be accepted. And so she tries to like bend and break and make herself into what everybody wants her to be. And she's not really authentic to herself. And it all falls apart, of course. And even her friends are like, girl, be you. And so they start this little group called the Curlfriends. And I cannot wait to read more from this. But I don't know if there's going to be more. Because, let's see. This is Little Brown and Company. And I feel like it came out a couple years ago, and there's nothing yet. Well, it's 2023. So first edition, October 2023. So maybe more is coming. I couldn't find anything about more coming, but I sure hope so, because I want to read more about the Curlfriends. Then we have Curveball by Pablo Cartaya, and this is a graphic novel about a girl who is playing baseball, I think, because there is no softball team, and she gets injured, and so she has to take the summer kind of off. And her family really rides her really hard because she's good, and they want her to be competitive and blah, 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 blah. And so this summer off is kind of a reprieve for her, and she starts doing this like imaginary play with her brother, and she meets this little girl who lives with her grandma in like kind of a dungeony house, and or a castle-y, whatever, and kind of pulls her out, and together they kind of pull each other out of their shell. And this one was okay for me. I gave it 3 stars. Not great, but it's fine for my daughter to read. Then we have The Fifth Quarter. Did you hear that? That entire stack of books just fell. But The Fifth Quarter, and this is by Mike Dawson. This is about a girl who plays on a basketball team. She's not very good, and so she plays in the fifth quarter. Like, I guess they have a fifth quarter for everybody who's like not good enough to actually play during the game. And so she's trying to get better. This book honestly made no sense to me. And I know there's a sequel to it, but I really didn't like this at all. It just made no sense. And so, yeah, again, I'll let my daughter read it, but I didn't like it. Then last for middle grade, we have The Breakaways. And this is Bad at Soccer, Okay at Friends. It's about a girl who is bad at soccer. She's on the C team. But honestly, this book had like nothing to do with soccer. It had more to do with like sexuality, gender identity, all this stuff that was fine. It just felt very aimless and like just kind of checking boxes for the sake of checking boxes. There wasn't really a plot, so I really didn't like this one. So now I'm going to pick up all these books and we'll talk about the adult ones. Okay, so we have 5 adult books to talk about today, and I did read a 6th, but one of them is a Vlogmas book, so you will not be hearing me talk about that today. But I read the first in Annie's People. This is The Preacher's Daughter by Beverly Lewis. I also read the second, which is The Englisher. So this is an Amish series about this girl named Annie. She is a preacher's daughter, as you might guess, and she is about at the age where she has to decide, is she going to stay in the Amish community or is she going to kind of break out of the church and do her own thing, become an English girl? And her friend here in this first one, her friend who is an English girl, they've been pen pals forever. I don't know how they established their pen pal friendship, but they've been pen pals, and her friend really just needs a break. I think these people are in their early 20s, and so her friend's like, hey, can I come stay with you for a couple weeks? And she's like, sure. So she comes and stays, and her friend really falls in love. Her friend is Louisa, and she really falls in love with the Amish community, and so she kind of immerses herself in that, and we're just really seeing that interplay between the English community, the Amish community, kind of what you want when in that stage of life. Both of them have like broken relationships or broken engagements. So they're single and just trying to figure things out. And there's a mystery that's going through this. There, many years ago, there was a lost little boy who was found dead, or not found dead, but presumed dead or something. And this book very, very, very much is first book syndrome. Like which isn't really a thing, but it like starts everything, but doesn't finish anything. So it feels a little discombobulated, and it ends on a cliffhanger, and so I really wanted to continue reading, so I did. And I am not going to be able to tell you much about The Englisher because it follows directly from the Preacher's Daughter. But this one, Annie meets, in the first one, she meets a boy who is an Englisher, but he works closely with the Amish community. And so she kind of has a crush on him. So it's her, again, kind of exploring that relationship and within the confines of what she's allowed to do and how she's going to make the decision that she needs to make coming up. Her best friend, her best Amish friend, also is in a really toxic marriage and has kids, and he's got his own stuff going on. And again, that kind of mysterious thread of what happened to this little boy years ago is still happening in here. And it ends on a cliffhanger. So while I would say this is like a 3-star series, it's not that great. It's really drawn me in, and I really want to read the third one soon. So that's my plan. These are Amish, clean, all the things. Then we've got Silent Night by Mary Kay Higgins. Why do I keep calling her? Mary Kay Higgins is not her name. Mary Higgins Clark is her name. This is about a family, a mom and her 2 sons and the husband that go to New York for Christmas because the husband has leukemia and has to have surgery. So the book is about the mom and 2 sons are out and about, and somebody steals her wallet or takes her wallet, finds her wallet, whatever. One of the sons decides to follow the person who took the wallet, and he gets himself in the arms of a serial killer. And so it's the mom trying to find him, the police trying to find him, especially once they figure out where he is, trying to keep him safe. The little boy is like the star of this show. This is a novella, so it's pretty short. He's the star of the show. He's brave. He's funny. He's a good little boy. But my complaint is I don't love novellas because I just wanted more. So this was fine. It's not part of a series that I know. It was fine. Then we've got kind of a hot take, Love of My Afterlife, and by Kirsty Greenwood. So this I actually read July 31st, but I started a Catch-Up-a-thon vlog because Catch-Up-a-thon is also going on this month in addition to Deck of TBR-a-thon. So I'm trying to read Book of the Month books, but this one had a premise that I wanted to love. So this is about a girl who is, I don't know, mid-20s or something, and she chokes on a hamburger and dies. And so we meet her in this like afterlife waiting room kind of thing where it's just kind of this middle place. And she finds this guy. They like draw connection. They connect eyes, and you know, it's magic. Harps playing, all this stuff. And she thinks he's maybe her soulmate, and they feel like they know each other, etc. Well, then the person in charge is like, oh wait, he's not supposed to be here. He's supposed to go back to Earth. So he's gone. And then the coordinator or whatever loves romance books. And so she's like, well, I give you 10 days to find this guy and kiss him. Otherwise, you're coming back. And so she goes back to Earth and has 10 days to find this guy. Now, she kind of teams up with her grumpy neighbor, who is this guy who can help her with the tech skills to find the guy that she needs. And in return, he needs a date for some family stuff. And so it's kind of this fake dating that, of course, you can tell where it goes. I honestly did not like our main character at all. I really dislike this book because of her, because she keeps this secret that she's only got 10 days. And the man that she falls for has a lot of trauma and a lot of baggage around losing loved ones. And yet she doesn't feel it pertinent to tell him anything at any point. And just, it felt awful. Like, she was so selfish. I didn't like her. I didn't identify with her. I couldn't empathize for her. Like, I didn't like her at all. And so I will be releasing, I think I'll be releasing my catch up with on vlog where I talk more about this. But overall, this was a hard pass for me. So if you've read this, let me know your thoughts. And then last is The Secret Life of Evie Hamilton by Catherine Elliott. So this one is one of my Deca TBR-a-thon picks, as well as the Englisher, which is the second in that Annie's People. And so you've probably already heard me talk about this in a daily vlog, so I won't go on forever. But this is about Evie Hamilton, and she's married with a child, and I don't know how old she is, honestly. I would say probably mid-40s. And a secret from their past comes up and changes the course of their life. Okay, so that's sort of the premise, but really this is one of those women's fiction that just explores her life in all facets. Most of her relationships, there's multiple layers. She's got her best friend married her brother, and that's a complicated dynamic. There's her relationship with her stepmother now that her father has died. There's the relationship with her husband. She is a bookseller, so there's a relationship with her boss as well as other people. So all of those relationship dynamics are explored. Overall, this is like 540 pages. It needs to be at least 100 pages less. And the end has kind of like an emotional impact, but otherwise I chuckled a couple times. Overall, this was just okay. 3.5 stars probably. I also did chuckle a couple times. As much as I just bashed this, I chuckled out loud a couple times in this too. So it's not horrible. I just really didn't like our main character, didn't ship the relationship because I didn't respect her or the way she went about things. So anyway, that's my ramblings on all of these books. Let me know if you've read any of these books. Let me know if you're participating in Deca TBR-a-thon. Next, I'm going to film another pick, and by golly, I'm so excited. This has been like the funnest thing ever. So that is my weekly wrap-up. I will see you, I think, on Wednesday with stats and standouts and stuff for the month of July, and every day in vlogs. So I'll be seeing a lot of you. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.